Okay, let's connect now with the management of AU Financials to understand that why are there some top level resignations? Is it just a coincidence? Should market get worried about it? What about the disclosure and asset qualities? These are concerns which I guess were raised by markets yesterday when the stock of AU Financial plunged, but today it has recovered. Sanjay, fantastic to have you and thank you for joining us. I'm going to start with very direct questions because that is something which markets would like to get answers to. Is it a coincidence that we've had top level exits of crucial portfolios or crucial roles?
So, Nikunj, you have to just want to give you some data point, right? Why we even hired a new CRO in the month of April, because our existing CRO who worked with us for last 7 years now, want to change his portfolio from risk to business. And his name is Mayank, right? And he's still in the organization. He's heading our credit card business now. So the idea was to give a new older people a new chance, new functions, new verticals, and let's pull the new team so that we can scale up our operations, right? And we can manage all those things. So that is why we hired Alok in April 2021, and he belongs to Bombay. And we had one practice that we actually asked senior team to come to the place with the whole family, right? Because if you're not bringing your family, there is always a question around stability and continuity, right? And unfortunately, COVID too happened, and his family was not willing to relocate. And similar case happened with Sumit, right? So I would say it's just more of a coincidence, where these two important function, optically so good, so important for bank. We are unnecessary come in the controversy or crisis, because for me, it's just a matter of HR, a very ordinary issues for a very important positions, and we have to just tide it over. And other than that, not a single resignation is there from my top 50 team. There is always a churn because that's a very normal industry average, right? And we remain very exciting franchise as such, right? So we are very easy poaching around also for many people.
But when most of the organizations and big banks are giving their employees to work from home, how come your risk officer was not given the same option? Why was there a view from your top management that he should work out of Jaipur?
No, no. So you also have to appreciate that we belong to Jaipur. The headquarter is Jaipur. I sit here. The entire regulatory supervisory framework is based out of Jaipur. So that role demands here only, right? And that's the challenge we face. And we as an entrepreneur, we as a team really want to build something from this state only, correct? And this remains challenge over the period for us, but we have shifted our many of the functions to Mumbai. We allow people to work from home. We allow people to do remote working. But I think these two functions were so engrossed towards Jaipur that we can't allow people to work remotely, right? But we give them an option for some time to really work from Bombay or Delhi. But their entire team is based out of this place, right? For us, it was so difficult to manage. Then the team and the chief sitting somewhere else, I'm sitting somewhere else. So I think it didn't work out, and we are still working with Sumit to really understand the situation and can we have the middle path. But sometime it didn't click.
When the initial role profile was discussed, was the location not discussed? Has this come as a surprise? I'm just trying to understand, and let's spend some time because we need to clear the air. A 15 to 18% drop in the stock yesterday, I'm sure must have shaken up a lot of shareholders.
No, Nikun, so let me do one by one, right? So Alok we hired from Equitas, and he remained chief risk officer there. We hired in the month of April 2021. He replaced our existing one. Mank is still in the organization. So there was no hiring done because of some people going out. It was an idea to really reinforce your risk function. He and me personally, an entire risk committee agreed on his appointment. We clearly told him that your family need to move to Jaipur. He belongs to North India, so his willingness was also there. Somehow, COVID too, impacted the entire personal space and their well-being. They thought that it's so difficult to move now, and settle down in Jaipur, and we actually spoke to their family also, to be very honest. But I think, beyond a point, you cannot go into a privacy of people or their personal well-being. And they are just what, first quarter was largely locked down. And July, if they are offering us to move on, the idea is not about around the idea cannot be around governance, right? Because you haven't even started your work, you haven't even met the people, you haven't even done a lot of things to really check the culture, right? So in that sense, I think I would urge from through your channel that please try to be on the same page with us that this is an ordinary HR exit on an important position.
Sure. But just trying to get facts here, Sanjay. Did Alok quit within just 3 months of his appointment?
Yes, and that too after a whole lockdown. He joined us in April, and his first discussion started with us in July first week, and we started coming office in the second third week of June. So that's why I'm saying you that the team Alok actually don't take any charge honestly, right? Because we were there at home for first 2 months of this year, and suddenly, and that's why I'm saying you because of COVID, he didn't ask want to move his family now to Jaipur, new location, new geographies, new challenges, So, and I'm seeing that behavior in many of the employees where people really want to stick to their present position and just want to continue. There is huge number of dropout also in our offers in the quarter one.
Okay. So, in these 3 months or 2 months, when you're saying he didn't even formally sort of take charge and get well greased into the system, if you could just highlight where is it that there was actually a disconnect? Because you earlier highlighted that, you were in a different geography, he was different, and, the entire team was all spread out, and which is why functioning out of home and a remote location was problematic. What were the hurdles that you faced with, in particular, Alok's placement?
No, no. So what I want to say you that Alok eventually came to Jaipur only in the month of June, right? And he was there. But once he said that, I cannot be permanently settled down in Jaipur because of these reasons, and my family is not supposed to come here. And then we offered him, can you work from Bombay itself? So I think the idea, so then the discussion was around that the entire team, whether it's about credit risk, whether it's about the whole operation risk, the vigilance side, which reports to him, is based out of Jaipur. And if he's based out of Mumbai and do remote working, how the connect will happen, how the whole working will get done. And then I'm also based out of Jaipur. So you need my connection also so that, we build a very good rapport to really manage the risk, right? And then the whole risk supervisory system is also based out of Jaipur, and he has to interact with RBI and all those people, to really showcase that we are building a right risk framework. So that was anticipated as a challenge. Then only decided to move on.
Will the replacement now be an outsider or an insider? And let me paint this scenario. If it's an insider, markets would say that AU has not managed to get a talent. So will it be an insider or an outsider?
The Deepak Jain he was playing a role of COO, and he's been appointed by a board from today itself. So he's taking charge of CRO for 3 years. And I won't agree on Nikunj on this statement that we don't get talent. I think AU remains one of the most exciting franchise to work upon. And many people, right from the CRO, head of audit, chief of technology, initiative around digital tech, wherever the business functions, the credit functions, operation function, we would have hired 100 more people in last 12 to 18 months in spite of this pandemic, and people have joined and really enjoying this place, and we remain very excited kind of franchise for them, right? So, and I would say these are two unfortunate incidents which occurred at a given point of time. So optically it looked wrong, but again urge that this is just two incidents which should be seen in that context only.
Sanjay, I have a lot of regard for the kind of franchise what you've created. Great in terms of disclosure, high in terms of growth, and super in terms of managing the NIMs. But from a market standpoint, if market looks at previous instances where top level exits have happened, and especially of key portfolios, markets tend to think that, oh, is there a disclosure issue? Was there some kind of a disagreement between the professional management and the board or the promoters in this case? How would you reassure that nothing changes on the disclosure front?
So, Nikan, you have to see our past to really believe in us. We are now in 26th of our working. We remain NBFC for 22 years. We've been supported by one of the most amazing set of investors now and past both. Our audit committee head, Mr. Rathi Saab, is there for last 11 years. We had a chairman for our good 10 years. The last chairman is also from last 2 years. And the entire team of risk, apart from Alok, there are around 100 odd people, and their stability is very consistent. The all one downs of Alok, our CRO, is there in the organization for last 4.5 years, and they all are sticking with us. Similar cases with audit function, similar cases with vigilance, similar cases with compliance. These are not only two guys, right? There are whole control functions which works in bank. So in that sense, I think our past is good enough to make people comfortable. And I can assure you from your channel also today that nothing is wrong in bank. We are working day in day out. Pandemic has given us tough time, and these two unfortunate event also, but we will come stronger and stronger and keep working on the franchise.
I was analyzing your last 2 quarters, Sanjay, and there is definitely a pain which has been felt because of the pandemic. Is the COVID pain now behind AU? Have things normalized in this quarter?
Yeah. So, Nikunj, I would say COVID, barring this overcast of COVID three, I would say COVID pain is in past now. We had a phenomenal working in last 2 months, which is June, July, August, and in my opinion, that's the most fantastic 2 months of last close to now what 16, 17 month period. The growth has come back. Efficiency is north of 100%. Our asset quality is improving every day. People are very confident and they are coming upfront to discuss their issues or their demand in whatever sense. People confidence is again coming back internally also. We have launched our digital bank. You would have seen our campaign also. So everything is working so fine, and I'm too excited for this whole decade of journey.
All right. Okay. Um, Mr. Agarwal, I'd like to also talk about some of the recent initiatives, some of the steps that you've taken to make AU Bank's brand more niche, more relevant. You mentioned about how, growth is, of course, slowly coming back. And now, as we see the economy improve as well, we should see demand for credit to improve. So how are you, trying to build on the brand to capture that potential market?
Yeah, so two three things. Like for asset, we have the multiple books right from Wheels, SPL, home loan, business banking, and we are very well growing at that book. Some kind of pain was there because of COVID, but that is also being provided. And as I already commented, that I don't think much of pain there provided, subject to the COVID-3. I'm fully confident that the next 10 years of India will be very different than the last 10 years. And capex cycle has come up. I'm seeing able to see the green shoots available. So there, the front is very well stitched, and I'm very confident that our asset machines will perform well. In terms of deposit, where the whole brand awareness is required, we hired one of the finance sector of this country, and and he is able to showcase the way we think and how we actually deliver on the service side, on our product side. And I'm getting good reviews, good feedback, and as such, also in last 18 months, we are able to manage our deposit growth and also the cost of money, and that is helping us to for the next level of customer base acquisition, right? Because traditionally we were not able to acquire a customer who was very rate sensitive. That is being now allowed in from last 12 months. In terms of payments and in terms of digital bank, I think we have launched our 0101 app, a digital bank, where we are giving every kind of services, product at your convenience, at your ease. We have launched video banking, we have launched credit card. So in that sense, the franchise has done brilliant job in last 12 to 18 months, and I'm really proud of my team, the way they have come together and deliver all this front. And that makes us very exciting franchise for next 10 year too.